is something less pleasant, which is the terrible Saddam monuments, all these gigantic, colossal bronzes of the dictator that are very unpleasant. And as you may know, one of the things that Paul Bremmer did was that he requested the heads to be pulled down from the presidential palace that the CPA had taken over. Of course, there are hundreds of heads and complete bodies of Saddam that were placed all over the country. So the question arose as to whether they, the CPA, should be allowed to melt them down and to reuse the bronze for other things. All sorts of things. I can tell you stories, but I won't go into it. But one of the things that they did use the old Saddam statues for after they melted them down was to cast their own statues. So if you ask me, maybe it's not a bad thing to get rid of Saddam statues. I mean, I personally was never fond of them. I thought they were terrible from both a political and an artistic point of view. But if you're going to melt them down, it's probably best not to use the bronze to then cast statues of pieces of propaganda. For example, this soldier who's mourning the loss of the life of his fellow American soldier while being patted on the back by a little Iraqi girl. So this was commissioned from a local Iraqi artist, and it's what you see. I don't even really know how to describe. As an art historian, I'm just at a loss for words. I don't know how to describe this word.
Agree.
But at the same time, this was lauded as a sort of like a freedom art movement. And my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Neda Shaboult, who works on modern Iraqi art, has spoken about this as the freedom art of occupation, or the free art of occupation, because they've sponsored a particular type of contemporary art while disregarding a very vibrant and vital and important history of modern and contemporary art in Iraq, which is known all through the Middle East and which is very impressive, and which goes back. Sorry, this was supposed to be, many of you in the room will know this, the image that didn't come out here is Jawad Salim's Freedom Monument. And I just wanted to show it to you, to remind you that modern art in Iraq actually has quite a long history. There was even some discussion of tearing down Jawad Salim's monument at one point because it was considered to be, I don't know, associated with despotism or something. Very briefly,